Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games and day 9 of the 30-day challenge. And today I managed to get the priming finished, painted the crows, and then I was going to finish off the wolves, but instead I thought it would be cool to paint one of the infantry units from the Grey Hunters. And I wanted to try out the paint recipe I had planned. And I wasn't too happy with how it turned out, so I tried out a few other recipes and then came to a final one that I really like, and so that's the one I want to work on for the rest of the army. So that was really what a lot of today was about, really just thinking and planning, going through that paint and then watching some videos and seeing how other people have done it, taking bits I liked from lots of different places, and then eventually just coming to something completely different that worked for me. So in this video we'll take a look at the table, see where we're up to, and then I'll just talk you through my process of coming to that final recipe for the Grey Hunters, and I'll show you the models up close. I'll show you some pictures and we'll have a look at them in a close-up video as well. So at first glance, things will look pretty much the same as yesterday on the tabletop. This section hasn't changed at all, so we've kept that exactly the same. But back here is where all the action's been taking place today, and I managed to get the priming finished. I went out and bought another spray can, got the priming finished on the Stormfang, the 2 Predators, and also those 2 cargo crates as well. So that's all the priming done now. I haven't got to worry about any more of that. And I got really lucky with the weather because I lived 3 or 4 days of sunshine here, and it's just started raining when I finished, so I couldn't be any more lucky than that. I was also really pleased to get the first unit complete today, and that are the 6 crows, and they'll be proxied as the Fenrisian wolves, so I'll be using all the stats from their datasheet. But I'll go through the process quickly of how I painted it. So I used the contrast Black Templar to give 1 coat all over the crow itself, and these are Aetherwing models that I'll be using. And then I used Lothern Blue to do the tree trunk, and then dry brushed that with white, just blending it in to the base, so that all worked really nicely. I love that frosty look that it's got. Then I took some Thunderhawk Blue and did a light dry brush all over the wings there, picking out that nice texture, being really gentle, not going heavy with this, just really subtle. And then finally I took a Fenrisian Grey and just even gently I just went round those edges and the most raised parts, really just flicking the brush, and then that's all I did for that really. And then also had to just paint in the eyes, so I got some blood for the blood god so these would stand out, put a little dot on each eye, and that's all that's needed. So these are it's quite glossy, that blood for the blood god, so I think that worked really nicely for the eyes. And then once that was complete, I did the rim of the base, and then that was finished. Now since I'd painted these bases, I haven't been really happy with the rims. That blue is way too bright, so I was wanting to tone it down a little bit, and I thought I might just get another colour. And I was looking at Blue Horror. I've seen that's a real pale blue. But then I thought, why don't I just try out dry brushing over it, and maybe it'll give an icy effect. So the one on the right, I've just dry brushed over it, and it almost looks a bit icy and frosty. So I thought, that's cool, I'm just going to go with that. So I'm going to spend an hour or so just dry brushing all the bases around the rim, and I think it looks a lot better. That blue is just way too bright. Then I moved on and I thought I'd try out the paint recipe and paint up one of the miniatures. So the one on the right, I just went through using the box art as my kind of guide, and I got the armour quite close to how I wanted it, and I used this recipe, but it just wasn't frosty enough. I don't know, there was something missing a little bit. So I tried a different one where I went a bit brighter, and that wasn't quite there. And then finally I did this one, which was the easiest out of all of them, but it's created this really frozen frosty look that I really like. So I think I'll be going with that now for the rest of the army. And here's that first one I did. So I've gone through it just using the box art as the reference, and it looks a little bit frosty, but it's just not quite there. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I just wasn't too pleased with it. And so I picked out all the other parts as well, and I've got to do some stripes on this. I'm going to make him a little bit more frosty with a bit more dry brushing all over, and we'll see how we go with that. But that was the first try, so I was quite happy, but there was just something missing. And I'm also not sure about doing the 2 colours on the different shoulder pads, and looking in the book, in the codex, at the different companies and then also the different markings. I'm not sure. I've got to think about that really, because I quite like the look of it without the colours on. I think it looks really cool. But this was the second one I went with, so I just went with a little bit brighter dry brushing at the end, and I really liked that one. So this was getting there, but it still was wasn't quite frosty enough. And then so I just took a break, had a think about it, watched a ton of videos, and then I ended up looking at the Warhammer one, where they did a video, the Warhammer YouTube channel, where they just did Agrax Earthshade, and then they did a Rust Grey, and that was it. And I quite liked the look of it, but then that's as far as they went with it. So I tried it out. I went Agrax Earthshade all over on this one, and then I did Rust Grey, and then I just went white, and it's given this frosty look. And it does look like, you know, when you dry brush, you get that kind of cloudy look. It's almost worked in my favour here to make it look a bit frosty. So I like that. I'm really happy with this. This is the kind of look. I didn't want to go really too crisp like this one. So I wanted to like have something a little bit different. So this one I'm really liking. So I'm going to go with that for the rest of the models in the army now. And then again, pick out all the details still, but really try and keep this frosty look going. And then when I compare that to the two bases, I think that's going to work better as well. So coming away from this bright blue and having that dry brushed effect, and then combining that with that look, I think is going to be a lot better than having it here where it's just way too bright. And I suppose if I change the base it would be a little bit better, but I think it's the yellow that's doing it, not doing it for me. That yellow is yeah, I might need to go for a lighter yellow, maybe just pale it up a bit. We'll see how we go, but or even try and dry brush some kind of frosted effect over that as well. So a little bit to do on the shoulder pads there just to see how that's going to go, but I'm definitely going to use this for all the armour. So tomorrow my plan is to go Agrax Earthshade on all the models and then do the 2 dry brushing steps, and that's a huge chunk of the work taken out then from the whole section. So that's the plan with those models. But let me just quickly show you the crow here, and I was really happy with these. I really like this bit of the trunk and how that came out, just with the one colour and the dry brush, and then just really subtle, giving that blue 2-step dry brush over it. Really works. That blue works really nice for black, so wherever you're highlighting black, just to use different blues, you can get some really nice effects. And there's another one. So yeah, really happy with the crows. I think they're going to be really fun on the table. They're just going to look so cool. Having a flock of these just coming at you is going to be awesome. So that's everything for today, and I'm really happy to get that paint recipe down and ready to go. So tomorrow I can finish those wolves and then also crack on with pretty much all the miniatures, giving them one coat of that Agrax Earthshade and then getting them ready to do dry brushing. And it's good that the recipe I like is really easy, just like 3 steps, and then that's pretty much the armour done, and then it's picking out the details. So yeah, really happy to get to that stage. I also spent a bit of time looking through the codex a bit more today, looking at the great companies that you can see here, and so whether or not I'll choose one of those and run with it, I'm still undecided. So yeah, I think I might like try and theme it myself. That was the idea that I wanted to do, but I might just go with one of these and run with it. But I've got so many of the different characters from some of the different companies, I think I can just come up with my own and then just pull each of those and kind of build into the narrative of it somehow. So yeah, not sure what I'm going to do yet. So lots more thinking and planning, but I think that's all going to unfold as I get painting, and while I'm sat there painting and listening to podcasts and music for the next 21 days, I can really start thinking about the company and how I'm going to put it together as well. Thanks for all your advice and comments about doing the vehicles yesterday. That was awesome, and I took a look at some of the different products you recommended, so that's really great. So thanks so much for your help with that. So that's it from me for today, and I look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow, and then hopefully there'll be a load more done. So today wasn't productive by way of lots of models, but I took some big steps in getting ready. So now I know exactly what I'm doing. I've got it fixed in my head. I can really crack on tomorrow and get quite a lot done. So looking forward to showing you the stage I get to this time tomorrow, and I can't wait to see you here again then. So thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.